Welcome to EcoWise, where we focus on easing tax burdens and unlocking clean wealth. I am your host, Ibabuchi Lawrence Eve, and today we are diving deep into some critical legislative proposal that could significantly transform Nigeria tax administration system. We'll be discussing the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, the establishment of the Nigeria Revenue Service, the creation of the Joint Revenue Board, and of course, the new Nigeria Tax Act 2024. So grab your headphones and let's get started. To kick off our discussion, let's summarize what these bills involve. The Nigeria Tax Administration Bill 2024 aims to create a coherent framework for assessing, collecting, and managing tax revenue across all levels of government in Nigeria. From the federal down to the local. Next, we have a bill proposing to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service and enacting the Nigeria Revenue Service Act. This new service will take on the responsibilities of tax assessment, collection, and oversight of government revenues. The third proposal is the Nigeria Tax Act 2024, which seeks to repeal certain existing tax laws and consolidate the legal framework related to taxation in Nigeria. This act aims to streamline the tax system, making it clearer and easier for compliance. Finally, there is a bill proposing the establishment of Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of Tax Ombud. These entities will work together to harmonize revenue administration and resolve disputes effectively. Now, let's dive into the key points of these bills and their potential implication for Nigeria. The Nigeria Tax Administration Bill 2024 has uniform procedures. These bills aim for a standardized tax administration process, which of course could improve compliance and optimize revenue collection. It may also simplify tax obligation for small businesses. 2. It has independent revenue services. The creation of the Nigerian Revenue Service means that there will be a dedicated body focused on tax administration, outfitted with a clear power to enforce compliance and, of course, conduct investigation. It also has a collaboration among the authorities. Now, this bill emphasizes cooperation among federal, state, and local tax authorities, thereby streamlining efforts to enhance efficiency in revenue collection. Another component of this bill is Joint Revenue Board creation. The establishment of Joint Revenue Board seeks to harmonize tax policies across Nigeria. Of course, this could reduce the discrepancies and simplify tax administration process. The next component of this bill is Tax Appeal Tribunal. It is a formal mechanism for resolving tax disputes. And of course, this is crucial for ensuring fairness and upholding taxpayers' rights. The Nigeria Tax Act 2024 offers comprehensive tax framework. The Nigeria Tax Act 2024 aims to unify various tax laws into a single, clearer framework. The simplification is designed to enhance taxpayers' understanding of their obligation. It applies to all individuals and entities that are subjected to taxation in Nigeria. Of course, detailing the provisions of income tax, capital allowance, and others. This act also has a progressive income tax rate. The act introduces a progressive income tax rate structured for individuals with rates ranges from 0% to 25%. This aims to create a more equitable system accordingly. It has incentives for priority sectors. Yes, companies will face varying tax rates based on its size and operations. Notable incentives for sectors like agriculture and technologies will be already there in order to stimulate economic growth. It imposes VAT on taxable supplies, which gradually increased from 7.5% to 15% by 2030, while providing specific exemption to support key industries and the basic consumption items like all food, water, and education. The Act will repeal all the previous laws, tax laws. It will repeal several of them, including the capital gain tax, ensuring that all of these are streamlined. Now, let's tackle some important questions related to these proposals. Number one question is, what are the implications of the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill on small business? The implication is that a standardized tax system could simplify compliance for small businesses. But it may also lead to stricter enforcement mechanisms. Number two questions that people have asked is, how will the establishment of Joint Revenue Board improve tax revenue collection? The answer is simple. By harmonizing tax policies, the board can reduce confusion and encourage better compliance, ultimately increasing revenue. The next question that people ask is, what mechanism will be in place to ensure taxpayers' rights are upheld under this new legislation? The answer is also very simple. With the introduction of tax appeal tribunal and, of course, the Office of Tax on Board, there will be a formal process to address taxpayers' concern, thereby enhancing trust in the system. And also another question that some people have asked is, how does the Nigerian Tax Act 2024 impact on the physical landscape? And the answer is also goes like this. To the best of my knowledge, the Act will streamline the framework aimed to simplify compliance. And when that happens, it will provide investment incentives and, of course, adapt to economic needs, thereby promoting overall efficiency in Nigeria tax system. As we have discussed today, Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, the establishment of Nigeria Revenue Service, and the Nigeria Tax Act represent significant shift in the management of tax revenue in Nigeria. Now, this legislative proposal strives not only to improve the efficiency and compliance, but also to protect taxpayers' rights through structured framework. We hope that today's episode has provided you with valuable insight into this important proposal. If you have thoughts or questions about these bills, we would like to hear from you. Thank you for tuning to EcoWise. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your friends and their business partners. Until next time, remember, we are here to ease tax burden and unlock clean wealth.